Why do you guys love each other? Like, based on what? Well, hello. Welcome back to my channel. Just Shauna here to talk about some friggin' books I don't want anymore. Unhauling. Yet again. I feel like I pretty regularly lately have been having haul videos, but whenever I have hauls, that subsequently means I also have unhauls. So I've just been unhauling like crazy, which I'm not mad about because I like to keep books on my shelves that are books I foresee myself rereading. Several of these are not going to be a surprise if you regularly watch my videos because they are books I read or DNF'd and said I was going to be unhauling. So let me start. Let's see. What am I going to start with? Yeah, I'll start with a trilogy that shouldn't be surprising. The Winnowing Flame trilogy by Jen Williams. I read Ninth Reign and I actually quite enjoyed it. I already took the book plate thing out, but I gave it like 4 stars or something like that, 4.25 or I don't know, somewhere around there. Really enjoyed it. But then The Bitter Twins, I didn't enjoy quite so much, and I ended up deciding to not finish and not read the 3rd book. I really love these covers and everything, but yeah, definitely not gonna reread even the 1st book ever. I didn't like it that much. Like enough to be like, oh, I would just reread that one. But yeah, sad times at Ridgemont High because I really wanted to love this. And I kind of thought I would. Hence, I bought the whole trilogy. Oh well. And then another one that I recently picked up, DNF'd it, Fledgling by Octavia E. Butler. I love this cover. But yeah, this one I had some issues with choices made in the book. If you've read it, you probably understand what I'm talking about, with just the main character being the age of vampire that she is, but having the body of an 11-year-old prepubescent girl like she does, and some sexual intimacies that happen, and just feeling, oh, huh? And kind of like, I kind of get what you're doing here, but also, why though? Really enjoyed the thematic element though, outside of that, like the message and conversation around survival and just all of these things. Consent for sure. But the writing style I just found detached and dry and kind of like clinical almost. I just wasn't getting really gripped by the story or the characters. So I DNF'd and I don't want it anymore. And on that note, I did read Wild Seed by Octavia E. Butler a while ago, and I quite enjoyed it, actually. I gave it 4 stars, but I did note kind of existential at times. And that isn't like my favorite thing. But once again, I think I gave it 4 stars because I didn't notice the writing being... the writing was there. I wasn't really thinking about it too much because I think I was so caught up in the thematic elements and like the world building, which was very fascinating in this. But after reading Fledgling, I'm just like, yeah, I don't think I liked her writing style enough. And I have there's 1 or 2 more, but I have Mind of My Mind and Clay's Arc that I've never read. And I'm just kind of like turned off to her writing now, I think. So I'm just going to unhaul these. I enjoyed what I read of Octavia E. Butler because I read the other series, the Dawn, Imago, whatever. And like, I enjoyed it. And her thematic work is stellar, unquestionably amazing, but just not an author that is exactly for me, I think, with her writing style. So getting rid of these as well. And then another one that I recently did actually read and I really enjoyed, would recommend, absolutely, Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Melinda Lowe. This is historical, set in the 1950s in San Francisco. Kind of communist fears in the country, the Red Scare, all that. We are following a Chinese-American girl, child of Chinese immigrants, and they live in Chinatown, and it's very coming of age. She's a teenager, so all of that kind of teen stuff, figuring out who you are and your place in the world and your place amongst your friends and who your friends really are and all that stuff, on top of also queer coming out, queer realization story in here also. and really, really good. Would recommend. Just don't see myself ever rereading it. So there's that. Gonna put it out in the world for someone else to enjoy, hopefully. And then this next one is one that I enjoyed, and this author is actually an auto-buy author. And part of me is like, I should just keep it because she is an auto-buy author, and I have loved everything else I've read of hers, and it's part of a duology. But if you haven't sussed it out yet, Realm of Ash by Tasha Suri. Book 2 of the Books of Amba duology. I don't know. I don't even remember what I rated this one. Did I take the book plate out already? Yeah. I didn't rate it like low or anything. I liked it, but compared to the first one, this just felt way more like navel-gazy, way more like up in the clouds, and nothing is based in anything in like foundationally, like grounded in anything. It was just like the romance particularly, which Tasha Suri kind of does that a little bit with all of the romances I've read of hers so far, but it was just like really ramped up in this one for me for some reason, where I just didn't get invested in the romance. I was just kind of like, what is this based on? Why do you guys love each other? Like, based on what? So there was a lot of that going on, and it's just, I don't think I'll ever reread it. I could definitely see myself reading Empire of Sand again, because I enjoyed that one more, and they kind of can be read as standalones. I didn't dislike this. I think I gave it, what did I give this? 3 something or other, I think. Yeah, 3.5. I gave it 3.5. So, you know, I enjoyed it. It was better than like middle of the road, but only slightly. And yeah, I don't think I'll ever reread it. And then this is one I just recently DNF'd. Dead Girls by Nakisa Afia. I really wanted to like this. It's a historical mystery, Harlem Renaissance mystery, and it's set in 1926 Harlem, and just the kind of speakeasy, Prohibition era New York vibes I love, apparently. I have learned this about myself. That shit is my jam. And I really, really wanted to like this one. But the writing, I feel so mean saying this, but it felt like a debut. And it is. And it felt like it. Even the very first, like the prologue thing, it was very clipped writing, but it didn't feel like a stylistic choice. It felt kind of like more development was needed, I think. More editing, maybe, more developmental edits. I gave it up to like 70 or 80 pages, and just was like, I don't need to push through just to push through. I will let it go and move on to something else. So, getting rid of this one. Bummer times. And that is actually all for now. Not as many as I thought I had, but a few for sure. If you've read any of these, let me know what your thoughts were on them. Are you surprised by any of these unhauls for me? Or are they all pretty, expected? Like, comment, and subscribe if you feel so inclined and haven't already. Of course, you can always just leave an emoji to make your presence known if you would like. As always, thank you so much for your time. Hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.